Hello, everyone. How are you? All right, I'm happy to be here, and I'm so behind time. So first things first, I'm running behind my flight. I've got a flight to catch. So this is not going to go the way I'd initially planned it. However, as I have been introduced, my name is Nicky Verd. Has anyone read my book in the house titled Disrupt Yourself or Be Disrupted? Oh my God, that's interesting. You know, I always think I'm that famous, right? So, like I said, the presentation is probably not going to go the way I have planned that it would go, but we're still going to have fun. Back when I got retrenched, I've told the story so many times. What happened after I got retrenched was that I had no plan B because I did not see retrenchment coming. So I had no job, I had no hope, I had no future, at least I thought at the same time. But I had the internet, and that is what changed the game for me. I threw myself on the internet. I did as much research as I could regarding emerging technologies, the changes that are happening in the industry and everything, and I was writing about it on social media. Not having any background in technology, not having any background in marketing, but somehow I managed to build a brand that is being recognized globally today, thanks to the power of the internet. So when I speak about bridging the gap between marketers and technology, it is because it's something that I have experienced it in my own life, using the power of the internet to bridge that gap for myself. And for you to be able to bridge a gap, number one, you have to admit that the gap exists. So what is the gap that is existing between you and technology? For some people, they're looking at technology like, this is for IT guys. Like, when you talk about technology, please keep me out of it. That's the gap. You need to be able to admit that. Are you looking at technology as a tool? Are you looking at technology as a threat? That is a gap. Are you looking at technology as something that is coming to steal your job? That's a gap. Because that's the wrong way of looking at it. The more you look at it as the enemy, who wants to go towards the enemy? No one, right? When you see an enemy coming, what do? You run the opposite direction. So for everyone looking at technology like an enemy, they are already creating a gap between themselves and technology. But now when you start looking at technology, artificial intelligence, or whatever technology, when you start looking at it like, this is a tool, then you work towards that tool. If you look at it like, this is something that can enable me to become better in whatever I'm doing, then you work towards it. If you look at it like, this is my colleague, what do? You sit next to your colleague, you have a conversation with colleague, you converse, right? That is how you bridge the gap, by changing your perception on how you are looking at technology. So some marketers look at technology like this is something that belongs to the IT department. When you bring any conversation around technology, they're like, no, go to the IT guys. This is definitely not for me. So the more you keep looking at it in that sense, the more you are creating the gap between you and technology. I had a talk in Nairobi where someone said, this is not for Africa. I shouldn't be talking about emerging technologies or artificial intelligence. It does not apply to the continent because the continent is still in the third industrial revolution. Some places don't even have electricity, and that is true. But if that is your perception of the change that is happening in the world, you're doing yourself a disservice. Because if you are to embrace the new technologies that are happening today, you can actually 10x your productivity. Am I right? What is the reason for you to be fighting this technology and insisting on doing things in the old-fashioned way, the old ways of thinking, insisting on doing marketing the old way, throwing an ad on television, throwing an ad on radio? Meanwhile, you can go on the internet. All of us sitting here, we're leaving so much of our digital DNA on the internet, so much that when a marketer goes on the internet, they know exactly what I'm looking for. I had a conversation with someone recently. I was just sharing with someone out there. And we're talking about Toyota cars, and the moment I went on the internet, every advert about any Toyota car is jumping on me, right? This is the conversation we had on WhatsApp. These digital marketers, you guys are creepy. I'm like, this is not okay. So either way, that is the best way to do marketing. You want to keep throwing an ad on television, hoping that it's like throwing it blindly. Like you're throwing things on the wall blindly, hoping it sticks. Or do you want to go on the internet and collect all of these data? Collect, eavesdropping on our conversation, learning exactly what we're doing. So in that sense, it's budget friendly. You know exactly what you're going for. You're not throwing things on the wall hoping it sticks. As creepy as it may sound, it is an advantage for anyone in the house who is a marketer to understand that it is better to have data and make decisions based on data rather than shooting blindly, rather than just going into a radio and hoping, oh, I hope the right person who will buy my product hears this particular segment of the radio. Actually, I hope they tune in at this time. I hope they're watching TV. Now, let's look at this. When you are watching TV, what time do you go to take a pee or a smoke cigarette? To smoke cigarette. What time do you leave? When you're watching a movie? During a commercial break, right? We don't want these ads. We don't really want to watch them on TV. So that old model of marketing in that sense is dying out. As a digital marketer, you have to transition towards what is working today, using the power of the internet. And one of the advantages of artificial intelligence, or technology in general, is that it is breaking the barriers between the elite, or those with big budget, and those like myself, who had no budget and no marketing background whatsoever. Meaning that if you can strategically position yourself on the internet, selling your product or your service, whatever you're selling on the internet, if you can strategically position yourself on the internet, you can have the same results that people with big budgets normally would have. Am I right? Because that is the power of technology. If you are not willing to do that and you insist on doing it the old-fashioned way, you'll be spending so much money but still doing it blindly. So technology is leveling the playing grounds for all of us sitting here today. And that is an advantage. If someone like me could build a brand on social media or on the internet using just the power of technology, no paid advertisement at all. I tell people I've grown on social media organically. I've never had to pay for ads, but people know who I am, except the people in this room, of course. If you know what I mean. So, but people know who I am because I have been able to position myself on the internet, and that is the power of using technology, of embracing technology. If I were to Google so many of us here, what will come up? Can we try that? Can I Google your name? What's going to come up? Because I tell people, unless you start coming up on Google, you're not yet marketing properly. If I were to go on your social media, what will I find? Someone recently reached out to me telling me that they are so good in graphic design, DM me some of the work, and I decided, okay, let me click on the profile and actually go check the actual profile. And I went there was nothing. They didn't even have a photo of themselves on their profile. They had a logo of the business. But then when it comes to the internet, you want to do business with a person, not a logo. As much as what he DM'd me looked good, there was nothing on his social media that says this person is a graphic designer. There was nothing on his social media that convinced me otherwise that what he's actually saying in the DM has any alignment with what is on his social media. And I can ask the same question to everyone sitting here. If I were to go on your social media, will your profession or your business be in alignment with your social media? Or when I see you and you introduce yourself to me as maybe someone who is great cook or a chef, yeah, let's use the fancy word. You say you're a chef, right? And I go on your social media, there's nothing about recipes. There's nothing about food. In fact, you're sharing gossip about celebrities of who is dating who. You're not using the power of the internet. So, for so many people, learn how to be in alignment. Your digital DNA should be in alignment with who you are in the real world. I heard a story where a guy applied for a certain position at work. And he was good. He was great on paper. Because today, there's no organization that is going to employ anyone without first checking out their social media. It's just the way it works. Is there anyone sitting here who will go on a date with someone without Googling them? No. Why do you think an organization is going to employ you without Googling you or checking out who you are on social media? So when this guy applied for work and they actually thought, oh, he was really good, they said, okay, let's check out who he is on social media. And they checked out who he is on social media, and it was not anything the brand wanted to associate themselves with. And that's how he lost the position. Are you using social media to your advantage? Are you using the internet to your advantage? So many people are sitting with websites that are not interactive, websites that have no content. They have a picture of their product, one picture on that website. How are you going to get SEO to be in alignment with your website? My time is up. There was much more to say, but 5 minutes, my 5 minutes is up. Thank you for listening.